Have you lost weight only to gain it right back after returning to your routine? Did your diet work for someone else but not you? Rockin' That ID Life helps you understand your genetic makeup to find a lifestyle that fits your needs. Together, you and RockinThatIDLife.com can focus on your health and meet your goals today. That's RockinThatIDLife.com.
Center Ice Brewery is a proud sponsor of Let's Go Blues Radio. If you haven't heard, Center Ice Brewery beer is now exclusively available at beer stores around town, so make sure you pick some up on your next Milk and Eggs run. That's Center Ice Brewery. Please drink responsibly.
Sorry, I'm having audio issues right now. My YouTube is refusing to go on mute. Here we go.
Close the tab.
Yeah, that's what I had to do. Hello, everyone. Sorry about
Great
this terrible start. Yes, wonderful.
I'll just start over, and I'll cut all of it on the podcast.
All right, let's just cancel all of this, and then go. Welcome to Season 10, Episode 37 of Let's Go Blues Radio. This is the fully vaccinated, often imitated, but never duplicated. We make you want to shout, kick your heels up and shout, throw your hands up and shout, throw your head back and shout, come on now, hey, the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast. That's the Wild Goal song for those that know. I'm doing a little trolling here. Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by RockinThatIDLife.com, the home of getting yourself where you want to be physically, and by CenterIceBrewery.com, St. Louis's wonderfully crafted hockey-themed beer, found at local grocery stores and liquor stores in the St. Louis area. We are broadcasting live on Wednesday, May 12th, 2022. This is franchise episode number 355 all time. I am Jeff Ponder, and I'm joined by the Bash Brothers, Kurt Price and Bill Day, and we'll be chatting about a certain team that has a 3-2 series lead on the Minnesota Wild. Don't forget to find us on every social media platform and watch us as guests on Hee Haw Saturday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. We are dual live streaming on Facebook and YouTube, so hello to the live audience, and thanks for joining us. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Hello, fellow kids. Good. Couldn't be better. Up 3-2 in the series. My daughter's softball team won tonight. We're 4-0. Things are going well. Things are just falling right into place. Shen is not a dirty player. It's just awesome.
Shen is a lovable man if you're a Blues fan.
Yeah.
He's been
no
great.
No hits whatsoever.
Nope, not at all.
No, not
Bill, we missed you earlier in the week as we've gone to 2 shows a week, folks, for those that may not know. Bill, how about those games in St. Louis and, coming into Game 5, were you pretty confident or did you feel kind of, uh-oh?
Yes, those are crickets.
What I was going to say.
Yeah, I've got my window open. Actually, no, it's not crickets. It's tree frogs. So have fun editing those out.
That's not going to happen.
No.
Sorry.
Right. Somebody's computer fans
for those on
or there's tree frogs.
For those on the podcast, we're actually sitting around a campfire right now in Bill's backyard.
Yeah.
Oh, if only. Yeah, no, it's my podcast studio / office is in the second floor, and with this early start to summer that we've got, it's nasty hot up here. So I've got a fan in the window, and unfortunately the air conditioning isn't so effective right now, and with the heat of the day.
My AC stopped blowing out the registers today. I noticed. Ooh. So I was like, "What's going on?" Checked the fan in the downstairs unit, and that was fine. The outdoor unit was on; it was fine. So I took it all apart, and I had to clean it. Had some dust build up, and it's fine now. It's still working to get the temp down though. It was 92 here today, something like that.
Yeah, we got our half week of spring last week, and I pretty much missed it. So
yeah,
but that
was about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you were asking me before the tree frogs so rudely interrupted. how I was feeling coming into this, since I didn't get a chance to weigh in. Had a bit too much life happening Monday night, and wasn't able to join the show. So appreciate you guys towing the weight, as you always do anyway. Yeah.
No, that's the beauty of having 3 hosts too, honestly.
Yeah.
Is that when one of us can't make it, we can still do a show and it's not a problem. I'll admit, I didn't say this before the show on Monday, but you texted us and said, hey guys, I'm sorry I'm out. And then I texted Kurt and said, hey, you're still in, right? And I didn't hear from you for what, 10 minutes? And I'm thinking, uh-oh, I might be doing the show by myself.
No, I was good to go.
Yeah, call Justin Wilson. Hey, what do you do, bud?
Jump on right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
it's
again, that's the beauty of the 3 hosts. That's not a luxury that every podcast has.
No, it absolutely is. And like I said, appreciate you guys doing it live without me on Monday. So but yeah, I certainly felt I vented a little bit after the Friday game, and almost got into one of my famous "fuck you, Kurt" moments with Kurt on our private chat.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for a rebuttal.
It was
I never
there.
got one.
It
I
was
never
there,
got
but
one.
it was there, but I deleted it. So I was a little bit off the rails. Yeah, you were, and I didn't fall for it this time.
There's some great commentary
years.
right now going on in the chat. First of all, have to call out More That Girl, who is just one of my favorite people. And if I weren't married, I tell you what. Awful.
Is that right?
Person.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. We'll settle this off the air.
Yeah, we will. She says, geez, what is with you guys actually starting on time? Second time this week that I've missed the first part of the show. What's different this week, fellas?
Yeah, well, Jeff goes, you ready to go? All right, let's go. Boom, go. I'm like, I'm not. Okay, all right, I'll get stuff ready to go. And, we're going. We're going live.
I am one of those people that when I am good to go, I've got everything set, and I'm the one running the show. It's time to go. And I just kind of tell Bill and Kurt. Kurt's much more generous. Kurt's like, guys, settle in. Let's talk for a little bit. I'm like, nope, we're going. Let's go.
I'm a traditionally, fashionably late guy.
That's true.
Actually, take that back. I'm never early and I'm never late. I always arrive precisely when I intend to.
There you go. I like that. So some great early chances here for comment of the show from some people. Matt Harris says, crickets, is Bill reporting live from Ottawa's arena? And then the Meeker says, Matt, I think it's Nashville's arena. Matt Harris then says, too soon, Meeker. And Paul Parashak, who that might be a new live listener. No, Bridgestone Arena has more LGB chance. Good stuff early, guys. You're bringing your game tonight.
Bill and I witnessed that firsthand. The Blues fans were drowning out the Predators fans when we were there.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Especially with that stupid rule that they can no longer enforce because of, the third-party ticket sale market. Loved going in there and being a part of that and drowning those lovely folks out.
Lovely folks. They were, you know what, the folks we were with, perfectly great people. They were, I mean, I'm sure every fan base has its fair share of asshats, but the people we talked to, I thought were, well, the one guy by you, Bill, was kind of, you said was a little annoying, but the people that generally were pretty nice.
I never interacted with them. Everybody I actually talked to and had hockey conversation with, knowledgeable, good, good fans. But yeah, there was the one asshat who kept chanting Russo.
Rene Russo.
Yes.
Good old Rene.
Matt Harris says Wild and 5. Am I right?
I will say I had a friend. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, what's funny is, I mean, the series is not over yet by any means, right? Got one more huge game to win. But I'd like to kind of reflect back on all these expert analytic-based reports that giving the Wild like a 66 to 33% edge to win the series. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, how in the hell do they? We talked about this. Do they come up with that? And it's not panning. It's panning out the way we thought, as opposed to the expert models predicted. But it's not done yet. So,
well, let's face it,
we'll
a 66 to 33% chance would basically put the Wild winning in 5 or 6, in my opinion. And at the very least, this is going 7 games. So the Blues clearly have outperformed what the analytics have said.
Right. You mean if the Wild win, it has to go 7 games at this point.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Which makes it a very even series.
Well, hopefully we can talk more about that and laugh about that next show.
Yes. Let's hope. Well, fellas, let's get into our official beers of episode number 355. Remember, you can follow each of us on the Untapped app. Kurt is C Price 12. I am J Ponner 94. Bill is Billy Blue Note 33. And as we've done all season, I will lead us off. I tonight am drinking one of my favorites. Kurt, you inspired me last show to go out and get some good summer beer. So that's a bad glare trying to make that better, but it's hard to do. Summer Lager from Schlafly, which, by the way, I think is that a new can design? I think it is.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think the logo in the middle is the same. Maybe the
There we
outside's
go.
different.
Yeah, but Summer Lager, just, again, one of my favorite. Literally on a Saturday, I go out, I mow my lawn in the morning, I grab myself a Summer Lager. It is so refreshing to be able to just drink one of those while I'm doing my lawn. So just a great sipping summer beer. We're to Kurt or Bill? I think it's Bill.
It's Bill. That's the order.
I was working on putting it in
on railroad all the live long day.
I don't know why that caught me in such a silly laugh. That was good.
All
Nicely
the live
done.
long day.
Well, I
nice.
did it wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other
over
way.
here.
Other
Wait,
way.
wait.
Nice.
Really, the Czech Pilsner. I've had the Czech Pilsner there on draft. It's good.
Yep. I had that. That was the last center ice beer that I had at the game. I forget which game it was, but it was the only one I could find. The last game, the Schnucks was completely sold out of the Beauty. You couldn't find Old Arena Lager anywhere in the building, so I popped into Randall's, the newest Randall's, the one on the hill today, and they had a decent selection of center ice brewery beers on the shelf. So I picked it up. That's good to know.
So the Randall's out in the hill there's a lot of center ice there, huh? Did you see the new Beauty there by chance?
No, they were completely sold out of Beauty.
Okay.
So no.
I'm still looking for that. I haven't found that yet.
Did you see the post that they made about they're actively, obviously, looking for a new home? And you saw the one. I was like, when they showed it, I'm like, St. Genevieve?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
it was a cool building. Cool building. Would have been a really cool thing for them to do. But wow, that'd be far away. It's like an hour and a half away almost for me from here.
Was it in St. Genevieve or was it just the St. Genevieve building?
It was in St. Genevieve, yeah.
Oh, so, no.
But yeah, their post today. Yeah, their post today that they backed out of it. So,
yeah. I was like,
they were not following through, I guess we should say.
Yeah, that's you gotta imagine it's probably really cheap real estate out there. But
sure, yeah.
At the same time, like they literally just put a post up, where do you want us to have our next building? And I mean, it was St. Louis County, St. Charles, St. Louis City.
What'd you go for?
I voted St. Louis County.
I voted city. Actually, I made my own map for them. You see what I did?
Of course you did.
I put a little beer bottle shaped zone.
Sharpie?
Yeah, you should go here. No, it was like everything south of 40 and a little bit south of 44. Kind of that triangular area from downtown out to 270.
I would love that. That's only
Yeah.
about 20 minutes maybe from my house, maybe even 15. I'd love it.
That'd be a cool spot. Anywhere in that big long triangle from St. Louis City down out to 270 with the triangle fans out. That area there.
I agree. That'd be awesome. I'd like. Hey, that's a perfect compromise for me because that's really not that far. So I'd love it.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Harris says that St. Genevieve building was beautiful, though. Definitely a neat idea of making a brewery B&B experience. Yeah, that was a cool building. I did look through those images. Very cool.
Yep, standalone building too. Been nice. They've been cool.
Yep. Go ahead.
I was in my beer. You want to do my beer?
Oh, we haven't done that. You haven't done you yet.
No.
That's right.
No,
Let's do Kurt.
I'm trying to get it in here.
Let's all do Kurt.
Did I do this last week? The 312 Shandy?
You did it on Monday.
I'm going back to back. So
312, good stuff.
Since it followed a win, maybe I'll just keep doing this until we lose. 312.
That's what I did in 2019. I need to stop switching it up.
Shandy can.
That's my second. That's my second. And I bought the desktop fridge a la Ponder. So
cool.
Nice. Which one did you get?
Sam Adams fridge.
It's not in the basement.
Okay.
I just don't want to run down there. I'm lazy.
What's which one did you get of the little can fridge?
The red Frigidaire one from Target.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
So,
good work. Well, I'm glad I can inspire you.
Yeah, I can fit 16-ounce tall boys in there. So
shit. Nice. Now I need to get another one. Might have to get two of them. Today in Blues history, courtesy of the @STL Blues history account. Today is May 11th, 2022. We've got two of them today. May 11th, 1968, the St. Louis Blues were swept in the Stanley Cup Finals by Montreal Canadiens. Glenn Hall would later be named the Conn Smythe winner for the playoffs. And back then, which I actually did not know this, voting was done by ballot by the Board of Governors, which is very interesting.
Yeah, and stuff changes. I think the media used to vote for the stars of the game, correct? Now that's different.
I've thought they still say the media votes, but I've never.
I think Korak recently said that they no longer vote. Someone else does.
So who does it? Is it just somebody that works for the team?
I wanted to say it's someone from the home arena that votes. So like a few people or one person, whatever. That's the impression I got.
That might be correct. All right. And on May 11, 2016, Robbie Fabry, at the age of 20 years and 100 days, became the youngest NHL player to record 3 points. That was a goal and 2 assists in a Game 7 in the St. Louis Blues 6-1 win versus the Dallas Stars as they advanced to the Western Conference Finals. So Robbie Fabry, that was before both knee surgeries, correct?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep, that was his amazing run through that playoff series, which continued on. He was by far the best player against the Sharks in the conference final. And
isn't that when Crawford attacked him? That's the same season, same playoff run.
16.
I think that the year we played the Blackhawks. That's the year we had. Yeah, because that was the last.
Yeah,
that was
you're right.
You're right. Blackhawks.
Yep.
And Crawford attacked Tellin. God, attacked Fabry for no reason. It was absurd. It was like he went. I mean, what people accuse Binnington of doing and being, that's what Crawford did there. It was like for nothing.
Yeah. Well, guys, we will talk Blues and Wild Game 5 and look ahead to Game 6 after a word from our friends over at rockin'thatidlife.com. And, guys, I will preface the commercial by saying, because of today's heat, this might be a little outdated. It's springtime, and I know in my house, it's such a good feeling to open up the windows and let the breeze roll in for new life in my home. Your body's no different. Detoxifying your body can reduce any inflammation, purify your blood, help with weight loss, improve sleep, and boost your circulation. Don't just go after those detoxifiers that only focus on the gut and bowel, though. If you're going to do it for real. The all-new Detox Box from RockinThatIDLife.com cleans all your systems, flushing your kidneys and bowels, detoxifying your liver, and restoring your microbiome for full homeostasis. You'll feel re-energized, restored, and renewed. Make your order now and receive a free detox water bottle with your order. Visit RockinThatIDLife.com or email Dustin at RockinThatIDLife@gmail.com and tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you to receive an additional 10% off your order. That's RockinThatIDLife.com and give your body that much-needed spring cleaning today.
Speaking of the heat and how hot it was today, I did myself a favor and stayed out of the kitchen.
Oh
Nicely
my.
done. Nicely
my.
done.
That's a thinker for you guys, huh?
It's a dad joke if I've ever heard one. You're
definitely a dad
mastering
joke.
the craft.
Obviously, I could not take the heat, so yes, I indeed did stay out of the kitchen today.
Yeah, I did the same thing, and we ordered fire and smoke for dinner. It
Look
was
at Jeff.
the best decision I made all day.
Like during the break, I have a joke. I have a joke. And
Yeah,
Jeff's like,
literally, I'm expecting this. I'm expecting
look
this
of disappointment in
great
your
and
face.
hilarious joke, and then I get that.
Oh
You
gosh,
son of a
It's like,
bitch.
yeah, well,
Bill, real
What do you
quick,
do?
let me. I'm going to totally spring this on you, so sorry to kind of put you on the hot seat here. But you weren't here last episode. Have you
What?
seen the new hype video the Blues put out?
I've seen it, but have not. Haven't like. I had it on in the background. Didn't
Okay,
like.
so do you
sit
have
down
thoughts
and-
on it?
I
We
mean,
talked about this
it's-
last episode.
I didn't hate it from what I saw of it, but I didn't sit down to take notes and judge it or anything like that. So
Okay, do that right now. We'll wait.
okay.
Now, the
Like
consensus
3.5 minutes
between Kurt and I was basically that maybe the song's okay, maybe, but it's not a hype song. You can't start a playoff series at home with a song that nobody knows and expect people to get into it and get rowdy. That was the consensus right between Kurt and I.
yeah. Well, and I mean, I think they also it was when the Blues go marching in. It's like pretty much the title of it, right? Like a modern take on the blues, and it's like there's hardly any of that in it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
agreed.
There's like a little bit of reference to it, but that's it. It's like, where's the? I see no tie-ins to the Blues go marching in whatsoever. But whatever.
Well, and I hate to say
Yeah.
it too, that if you're going to go that route and you're going to go with local musicians, which I love, don't get me wrong, it's got to be notable people. You know, if Steve Ewing's up there rocking his guitar on the big screen, people are probably going to go nuts. But no offense to the two gentlemen that I saw that were involved, I had no clue who they were.
Well, isn't the backup vocals guy or the secondary vocals guy, doesn't he sometimes perform the national anthem with
The guy with
guitar?
the clean cut looking guy.
Yeah.
The
Oh, is that
Bible, like young Sheldon grown up looking
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Sheldon.
Well,
No,
yeah, I guess
no.
a little. He looks like he's never said a bad word in his life. Goes to church every Sunday. You know what I mean?
Sells Bibles on the weekend.
Just saving himself for marriage. That kind of
Was
guy.
that really the same guy?
The same guy? What?
The same guy that
Let
does
me
the
look it
national
up.
anthem with the guitar?
Yeah, that's him.
That's him?
The-
Man, I had no idea.
We're talking about the same guy. The same guy as who? The in-game host that does some stuff.
No. The guy who does the national anthem with the guitar,
Yeah, sometimes.
and the guy that was in the Blues Go Marching In video.
No.
No, that's not the same guy. Okay.
No, I don't think so.
So where is it? Is this on the app? Is it only in the app? Probably.
I
don't
think it's
know.
on the app. It's on the website too.
At this point, they
Yeah.
were wasting everyone's time, so we can
All right,
we can
you
move
you
on.
guys move ahead. I will study it and let you know my thoughts.
Okay.
So game 5 in Minnesota, Blues take this one and now have a 3-2 series lead. You know what, Bill? I'm going to stop you from what you're doing and ask you your thoughts on the goaltending with Jordan Binnington. Going into game 4, what would you have done? Did you agree with starting Binnington, or would you have went back to Husso?
Oh no, absolutely. I'm going with Bennington until he loses. He's so
In game 4.
In game 4.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Husso
lost back to back. Right.
Right. Husso had lost back to back and didn't look like it looked like he was losing confidence. It was a no-brainer to go to Bennington in game 4. And I thought that he may have benefited from some luck and some poor shooting choices by the Wild. And what I worried about going into game 5 was that they would make some adjustments on their shot choices. But Bennington probably, being the professional he is, went back, watched the tape, saw probably 10 times more what I saw in terms of the what he was giving up and the Wild weren't trying to take, and I think he fixed it. And going into game 5, absolutely needed to see Bennington in the pipe or between the pipes, and it's he. Let's be honest. The 2 goals by Kaprizov, he's not stopping either of those. I know Pang or Kelly said that he, the second goal, he was off his angle, but those are otherworldly shots.
World class shots. Yeah. I mean, come on. They're such homers for all kinds of stuff, and just play the homer there. That was a great. I mean, you can't stop that one.
Yeah.
By the way, Kurt, can you block Matt Harris, please?
What was he doing? Is he being a Harris again?
Well, yeah, you responded to it. His Chelsea Dagger comment. Go to hell, Matt Harris.
It'd be funny to use Chelsea Dagger and just try and take it from the Blackhawks, since they're not using it.
Yeah, but you know what? That brings me back shades of when Bruins fans were trying to steal Gloria.
Yeah, that was annoying, and that was what's his name? Pete Blackburn was.
I don't want to be
that too.
Yeah, I don't want to be that.
It's a douchebag thing to do.
No, so no, I'm good. So yeah, Binnington back in net for this game. Fleury goes back in for the Wild. Nick Leddy and Robert Bertuzzo return to the lineup after early series injuries. Scandella, who was knocked out in game 4 again, was out in this game, and then Torrey Krug is still out with his injury. So again, for the second straight game, the Blues rolled with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen. So worked for them last time. Why veer away from it?
9-4-1 now after this game. We're going with 11-7 this season. So it works for them. They do well with it. And Leddy, I mean, it's so funny to look back, when we got Leddy and the different comments that were made when we got him, right? A lot of negativity because they were expecting something a different kind of defenseman to come on board. But it's so funny how, Leddy has proven to have been a very substantial addition to this team, almost like glue for the defense in a way. And he's such a stabilizing force amongst the depth on our D. And it's just he's important. And getting him back, it's just watching the
quick outs that he causes, just being able to, like, when they shoot the puck in, and we'll talk about Binnington being a big factor of that this game too, but just watching them when they shoot it in, he's always first one back, and he's always finding a way to get the puck out of the zone, whether it's carrying it out, passing it out, lifting it to center. The analytics showed that, and you see it every game when he plays.
Did you see a subpar welder's comment on the YouTube chat? Don't ever play Lady of Spain again.
Nice.
Beauty.
Paul
Parashak, just have organ music. That was a big gripe from Blues fans years ago. back when we started to play more, rock and roll, modern music and stuff, or class, whatever, piped in music, and less organ music. That was a thing, and fans were kind of upset about that. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
unfortunately, we're never going to go back to full organ. I wish we did.
Yeah,
but
no.
it's not going to happen.
I like it when there's a good mix of stuff
Mm-hmm.
and there's not country roads every game.
Oh my god!
Or
Yeah, let's
Sweet
give it a rest
Caroline.
already.
But the last couple of games I went to were weekend games, and the full DJ experience was a little over the top for me for that.
Yeah, I don't like
I
that
get it.
whole hype man thing. That's just
Yeah.
That was
silly.
dumb.
You don't need that.
Patrico's
and
cool and all, but yeah, the whole idea is just dumb.
Well, he's not
Yeah.
even the hype man anymore.
I mean, I'm saying he was, but back when they had him,
Right.
they don't have a hype man now, do they? They don't have a hype
Yeah, they do.
No,
man.
they have a DJ.
Do?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a
yeah,
DJ.
okay.
Yeah.
Not the same, but yeah.
That's
but,
pretty much what Patrico did, though. Was that he would mix music and then he would, get on the microphone and be like, "Come on, get loud, Blues fans."
Yeah,
That's basically what this guy does.
It was
Yeah.
cheesy. I hated it.
Yeah, I still hate it.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm old, so part of me is like, it's too loud. It's too loud.
Turn it down.
That reminds me
And
of one of
then-
my favorite lines from an announcer. It was actually Gary Thorne, and I remember just laughing at him and just thinking he sounded foolish, which I still to this day think he was. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I think it would have been Game 5 of 2001 Western Final with the Avalanche and Blues, where actually it might have been Game 3 when Scott Young scored in overtime. They were lining up for the face-off, and it's overtime. Game's going on late, and you hear him and Clement get pretty quiet, and you just hear Gary Thorne go, "Well, you turn the music down. I mean, God, it's between every whistle, it's nonstop until the puck drops. Turn it down." And you hear Bill Clement just go, "Yeah," and that was it. And they just started calling the play, and I was like, "Wow, you sound like old men."
Coming into this game, going 11 forward, 7 defensemen, and the Blues being 9-4-1 with that setup. And the team who wins Game 5 is statistically goes on to win the series 79.1% of the time.
Yep.
So if you like stats, this
I
game
do
is huge.
like stats.
This game is huge. The
Thanks for
Blues
bringing that
already
up. I
won
love
Game
stats.
1, which is the other the other game that people point to. Oh, the team that wins the first game of the series wins 60% of the time. So the Blues won that one, and now they've won Game 5. So we're knocking off the key win games of series.
Austin Lynch says, "Good evening, fellas. Keep me entertained while at the gym." You better be at the gym, Mr. Lynch, because I spoke with your goalie's dad of your roller hockey team, and I heard about your big loss to end the season. So you better come back strong in hockey. Your freshman year of college, son.
Is he like the towel boy or something at the gym, or what is he? Like hand
might
towels
be.
to the guys working out
Yeah.
or something?
Maybe. Yeah, I could see that.
Okay. Like a shower. He's in the showers, just handing towels to guys. as they
Yeah.
go.
Oh, yeah. Nothing weird about that. The
No,
towel boy.
he's got his own little chair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Camp-
Takes tips.
he prefers to be called the Cabana Boy.
There you
Cabana
go.
Boy. Right.
There you go. So not even 2:30 into the game, and Bennington goes back to play the puck. I don't know if you guys remember this play, and it eluded him and just kind of it hit the ref. Puck came in front. Freddie Gaudreau alertly throws it at the net, but Bennington scrambled back and made a very nice save. That was just one of those we talked last show, Kurt, about bounces and how it seemed like the bounces are starting to go the Blues' way finally. This was one that happened, and I thought, okay, bounces are going Minnesota's way again. I mean, it's just a weird-ass play.
Yeah, it was, Minnesota had changed their tactic. It was a high rim around. They were not going to give Bennington the chance to play the puck early in this game. And so it was purposely shot up, up on the glass. And yeah, just eludes him, hits the skate right out in front. And when things aren't going your way, that puck goes in the net. But hell of a save, hell of a scramble to get back, and he got his toe on it.
This pissed me off. The the official, it's a lazy play. He's not even watching the puck. He's just standing there. The puck's not coming with any significant amount of speed. If he's just watching the puck, he can easily get out of the way. He doesn't, and it's just perfectly right off his blade of his skate, right out in front. Great scoring chance. And that play, for him not paying attention, that that could have been the game. It's an early in the game. What, first minute or so, minute and a half?
2:30.
2:30. There. I mean,
Yep.
if they score there, this entire game is completely different.
Yep. So do you guys think when the Wild shot that in, that whoever it was that shot it in, one of his teammates looked at him and goes, "You hit that guy," and then the guy looks at him and goes, "He shouldn't have been standing there." Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Get out of the way, Vogelsberg.
Blues go up 1-0 on the power play as Jacob Middleton got a 2-minute cross-checking penalty on Barbashev, which I don't know if you guys remember the penalty.
Yeah,
How the hell was that cross-checking?
Oh,
he pushed.
I thought it was tripping, if anything.
No,
I didn't think he tripped him at all.
Two hands with stick in the lower back and pushed him down.
Really?
It was,
Huh.
yeah.
I think he went down
thought
pretty
it
easy
was-
because he's on an edge.
Right, I agree
Right,
with
He's
that.
cutting hard. He went down really easy because
I
cutting
must
hard.
I must be
That's
remembering
why I
another
didn't-
play.
I thought it was. I mean, he gets a stick on him, but I didn't think it was. I don't know.
I thought his
it's a
stick
weak-
got him in the skates before he cross-checked.
No, I
Okay,
didn't see that at
well.
all. I saw like a two-hander across like the lower back, but it wasn't
Yep.
vicious. It wasn't hard. It was just
Right,
a
it was
shove.
a push.
Oh
Right.
yeah, and this was not a penalty, but I'm not going to argue it.
No,
whatever.
No. So that was on Barbashev, and the Blues go on the power play. Good movement by the Blues, as we talked about last show. I remember who it was in the chat, bitching about Perunovic not shooting enough. Well, he got the puck here,
Yep.
fires a real good shot in front. Braden Schen's there, as he usually is. He battles with 3 Wild players, but the puck ends up popping out to O'Reilly, who scoops it, gets to the forehand, and then shovels it into basically an empty net as Fleury's just scrambling to find the puck. And just a very nice goal by the Blues power play to be able to capitalize here. And after that strange play with the referee just a couple minutes before that, being able to go up 1-0 in this game is huge.
I thought Dumba's. If you watch this, you've got 2 players going to Shen and leaves O'Reilly all alone. I think Dumba probably. It's tough because it's a rebound. You turn around, you want to try and get the rebound, but you got 2 guys. They turn their back on O'Reilly, who's wide open behind Dumba, and he just kind of coasts to the left, and the puck comes right to him. Easy one.
Yep.
Yeah, and such a great play by Perunovic. He's fit in so seamlessly on the point on the power play, and not trying to force distribution to the sides that, like, I think Krug had started doing a little too much. Get into the middle, letting it go when there's traffic in front. Great job by Shen to be there and disrupt everything. Like you said, drew both defenders. And yeah, Dumba. I wish he would put the 55 back on his jersey. Yeah, that would have been appropriate there. Left
the Blues have,
O'Reilly unattended.
The Blues have now scored a power play goal in every game this series.
Yep, that's true.
So I was feeling really good after this goal. I mean,
I was too.
Yeah. Bennington made that nice save on that goofy chance, and then the Blues score on the power play. So that's working again this game. And you got the lead in Game 5. Teams who score first usually win. And you're feeling really good. Even if we can talk about the next one, but even if they, I thought in my head, even if the Wild scored to tie it, whatever, we're okay.
Yep. So Winning Unlimited over in the YouTube chat says Shen is having a hell of a series. He is pissing off anything in green and red. And yeah,
as well
love
as their
it.
fans.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll ask Winning Unlimited. He's an honest, straightforward guy.
Very honest
Adam?
guy.
Adam, has Braden Shen dished out 3-4 checks in this series that warrant a major penalty and a game misconduct? You can think about that, and we'll we'll move on. And
that's been a
get back to-
discussion on Twitter with
Yeah.
Kurt and a few other people, and I've seen other people say it too, not just with Kurt. So yeah, it's just let's see. You know, people who maybe were wearing our heart on the sleeve too much. It'd be good to get another opinion out there of a smart hockey mind. Keith Price, I'm guessing this might be your niece. Violet says, "Hi, go Blues."
Oh, yeah, Keith Price is not my niece. He's my brother.
Well, I know Violet Keith is not.
Violet is, yes, my niece.
Okay.
And we're pretty sure it's Keith's kid. Violet says hi. Hi, Violet.
Hi, Violet. Hopefully you didn't just hear that. Hopefully you didn't hear Uncle Kurt bouncing shit off the walls.
My third favorite niece. How you doing?
Oh, that's sweet. How sweet.
Wow. You guys both said Hi Violet. That's one of my favorite National albums, so I just have to point that out.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So
speaking of Nashville albums, More That Girl said, "I will always remember the military band playing The Darkness in Nashville." That was impressive.
I believe in a thing called love.
That was impressive.
Amazing. Very cool.
That was.
We talked about everybody can sing down there.
Yeah, right.
That song was proof of it. The military guy just jumped
just
up
like
and
how
everyone
in Canada can skate, right? It's the same thing.
Almost, yeah, just about.
Ken Morris, Shen is a warrior. Agree with you very much there, Ken.
Sure.
But go ahead.
No, I said sure. He is a warrior.
Yeah,
he's a Shanahan-like guy in terms of how he plays and how I feel about him on this team. His role on this team, Shanahan. I love Shen. Shen's a very key player on this team and a like a perfectly built guy for the playoffs.
Yep.
Meat and potatoes.
Meat and potatoes kind of guy.
Lunch pail player.
Lunch pail.
Lunch pail. How many other cliches can we get out of here?
He's involved in some Donnybrooks.
Puts the meat on the burner.
That's a meat on the burner. It's a meat on the burner.
So at this point with the O'Reilly goal, the Blues had 12 goals in the series. All of them came from 3 different players. David Perron with 5, O'Reilly with 4, and Jordan Kyrou, who has been kind of still maligned a little bit by fans in this series. He had 3. So obviously, anybody who watched this game knows that changes in this game. But at this point, I'll admit that was a thought in my head. Like, okay, where's this excellent depth we've been waiting to see all playoff? You know, we talked last show about how Saad has been very non-existent in this series. Buchnevich, Tarasenko, Barbashev, even to a certain extent Thomas, just not seeing the points getting put up by these guys. So you kind of expected to hope to see more later in this game, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So the Wild do tie it, as Kurt alluded to. They score on the power play after Leddy interferes with Jordan Greenway. Kirill Kaprizov scores his 6th of the series after snapping the puck high past Binnington, who was heavily screened by Foligno. So I love this play from Foligno, actually. It just, again, as a hockey fan, not as a Blues fan, because he gets the puck behind the net. He ends up cycling it up high, and then without even hesitation, he just finds a small path to get to the front of the net, and then he knows Kaprizov is going to be there to shoot it, and he goes right where he needs to be. Binnington had no chance, could not see this puck, and just a great shot from Kaprizov as well.
This was a penalty that led to this power play. This was he pretty much tackled the guy. This play, fantastic conversion by the Wild, but I'm going to nitpick on Parayko here. He plays this soft. He doesn't get out to Kaprizov like he should have. I mean, he's there. He could have strided out and gotten a stick on that shot, and he didn't do it.
Yeah, that was what I thought too. Right, Parayko, given his size, all he had to do was take a half stride out, and he just stayed low and threw a stick at it. And by that point, it was too late. And great screen by I think it was Foligno, and just no chance for Binnington on that. But yeah, Parayko totally should have done better. Gapping up there and keeping getting his stick on it and not letting that get to the net.
Yeah, he's in no man's land. If he strides out a couple more feet, you know, I mean it's a bang play, but he has time. You watch the replay, you got to react, right? And he didn't react. He just kind of stood there with his stick out, but he was still away from Kaprizov, and great shot. I mean, it was a nice goal, but you look back on it and you're like, Parayko could have done something about that, and he didn't. And it just that's the knock on Parayko. That kind of thing exactly right there. That drives fans bonkers. He can play great for a while, and then he has one of those moments. It's like, what are you doing? Get out there.
Mm-hmm.
Get in the way. Get your stick out there. Your stick is 9 feet long. Get it out there.
Right. Yep. So Winning Unlimited is responding to you, but I think he hit his character limit, so we'll let him continue on.
Well, he does say, okay, so he says,
well, I was going to give us some more Shen talk maybe at the start of the next segment. Okay. So. All right. Yeah, we can roll through this.
Fine, Dad. Let's go. Move on.
Like I said, I think he's got more coming because I think he hit his character limit. So
is there a character limit? Okay.
Let's let him get. Yeah, there is. Yep.
Okay.
200. So yeah, we'll let him add to that if he has anything else to add. Looks like he does. So the Wild score again with the man advantage after Robert Thomas takes a 2-minute slashing penalty. This one was a little more questionable for me. Unless I'm remembering this one wrong too. He did get him, but I thought it was a very minor slash.
It was between the hands.
Yeah.
He didn't get him on the hands.
Between the hands.
Yeah, between the hands. I mean, it was in that area where they'll call it, at any time, their sticks up there. But honestly, is that a slash? It shouldn't be. I mean, it's not a. I don't know. I mean, is it?
It's not what you want to see called in the playoffs.
No.
This is the kind of call that is made and you hear fans gripe, let them play. But this is a nothing play. It doesn't affect anything, and it's called. It didn't affect the play whatsoever. It's like one-handed stick, I think, on one, maybe two up high on the handle or something. But it wasn't much. But whatever. Technically, penalty. So fine, call it, kill it, but they didn't.
Yep. So good puck movement from the Wild as the Blues were collapsed low on Bennington. Kevin Fiala feeds it in front to Kaprizov, who's pretty well covered, I thought, by Bortuzzo and O'Reilly. But we kind of mentioned this earlier. Just a beautiful, quick play by Kaprizov to get it on his backhand, and then all in the same motion. Put on his forehand and fire it, beat Bennington high again. Just an unbelievable goal. And for Kaprizov, his 7 goals now in this series are the most in one series in Wild history. And something tells me that if anyone's going to beat that, it's going to be Kaprizov again in the future because that dude has got a promising career ahead of him.
This play, this is all, I mean, he doesn't even get, it's all like wrist flick. It's, he receives it on his backhand. It's like backhand forehand shot. It's off. He didn't dust it off. He pulls it on his backhand right to the forehand. I mean, in a phone booth, right? Like, and it's on and off his tape in half a second or less, 1/10 of a second. And it's just, and it's from backhand to the forehand. And then where he put it on Bennington, like upper blocker, like just tucked in the corner.
Yeah.
Had to surprise the hell out of Bennington, surprise the hell out of me. That was an amazing world-class shot. Fantastic. Right. How do you stop that?
Right. The whole time I'm like, I'm wanting to find fault. Like, Bortuzzo, why'd you go so, screaming into the corner like that? You left him wide open. No, he did a great job of getting open and beating 2 players with sticks on him to get that shot off. I mean, just that could be goal of the playoffs so far with just how quickly he got that off.
I wasn't even mad.
Pinpoint accuracy.
I wasn't even mad at this. I was after
impressed.
The first goal, I was a little irritated that he got the shot off. This one, I'm like, I just threw my hands up. I'm like, well, that's just a fantastic play. How do you stop that? I can't blame anybody.
Yeah,
really.
What can you do?
It was good coverage. It was just a world-class goal by a world-class player. You tip your hat. Okay, you're down 2-1. Fix it.
Yep. Come out, play tougher in the second period, and you hope that's what they do. But yeah, I mean, it's same as you, Kurt. The minute that puck goes in, I literally just sat there with my arms crossed, and I'm like, I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah.
Like can't get mad because
Yeah,
holy shit, what a great fucking goal that was.
you can't get and that goal is not gonna make like top play of the night when really that's an extremely impressive goal. That I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a highlight reel necessarily goal because he's standing still. It's more of a flick, but man,
Right.
people
If
who
you
haven't played the game don't understand
right.
how hard that shot is.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Is that's a play that if you see it in men's league, like even the other team who got scored on is skating up to the guy going, "Dude, that was a nice fucking goal."
Yeah,
Like I
real
mean, I've done
nice.
that before. Like, damn, dude, that was great. And it's like, again, if you like you said, if you don't play the game and know how hard that is to do in one motion, you may not
As quick as
appreciate
that.
how beautiful it is.
Yeah, not just one motion too. It was just like on and off his blade in a blink.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So, mentioned in the second period, you want the Blues to come out. Well, they did, but it took a while. The
Yeah.
Wild, I thought, had some pretty good pressure early in the second, and Bennington had to come up big. We talked last game, game 4, Kurt and I at least, that I thought he looked a lot more comfortable in net than the last time we saw him start in Colorado. And I think we're seeing the same thing here. I think his rebound control has been great. Puck movement. I mean, he literally helped the Blues get out of their zone multiple times, as compared to what we saw from Marc-Andre Fleury, who basically refused to go behind his net at all. But I thought at this point in the game, Jordan Binnington is the difference. He's the one that's it's keeping it 2-1. It's a close game, and he's playing great hockey at a very boisterous crowd in Minnesota that's trying to get their team going, and they're getting plenty of chances, but he's shutting the door.
Yeah,
So
sorry, I was
in-
just
go
Adam
ahead.
Gold had posted a couple of videos on the Facebook chat, and I was
Mhm.
just checking them out to see what he posted to talk about our Shen discussion, which we'll bring up again later.
Yeah, I was going to say, Bennington. I thought he it wasn't like the Wild had dominant chances and were completely running away with the game, but Binnington was so solid in the second period, just making all the saves, doing all the right things. There, how many times did the Wild get odd man rushes, outnumbered situations, and it always seemed to be on his glove hand side, and
Mhm.
and he was there for it. They kept trying to go low, which I kind of suspected they would do, but both Kaprizov's goals upstairs, and I think the Blues also did a good job of getting in lanes and blocking shots, when they weren't shorthanded. So, defensively, the second period was a very impressive, stretch for the Blues, I thought. And yeah, great to have a veteran like Brandon Saad on this team, huh, boys?
Exactly. I was just enjoying the game at this point, hoping the Blues were going to score next, right? Because you don't want to go down 3-1. And but this was a nice back and forth, period. I thought the Blues had some good chances. The Wild had some good chances. They were back and forth. It was a good hockey game up to this point. Bennington's playing well. Yeah, and then there's the Sod goal, I guess.
Yeah,
With
so
what,
Saad
about
nets
5 minutes to go?
his first of the series as Kyrie shoveled it in front from the far boards, and Saad's there to tip it past Fleury. He was covered, I thought, really well by Jared
Oh, yeah.
Spurgeon, but he
Yeah.
just found a way to get a stick on the puck, which you have to appreciate. Again, somebody who, when I play forward, I drive the net. I all the time love to say, like, oh, yeah, I could deflect that, but I don't even touch
Right.
it. To have a guy draped all over you and still be able to get a stick on the puck and keep it on net too, just beautiful stuff from Brandon Saad.
Yeah, and it wasn't like it was a pass along the ice that he deflected. That was 3 inches off the ice, and you just saw. I loved going back and watching this over and over again. The positioning that Saad took, like he angled his body, set his body perfectly in the right position with his stick out and pointed towards the net, letting Kyrou know he could throw it that way. and Kyrou didn't make any mistakes. Hit him. Great deflection by Saad.
The
Beautiful
Wild
goal.
fans were calling this a lucky bounce. And I think the ESPN broadcaster even called it a lucky bounce too, almost like, Kyrou threw this towards the net and it went off Saad. And I'm
No,
thinking,
that's a
no, Saad.
veteran doing what
Yes,
veterans do in the
yeah.
playoffs.
Saad's eyes are on the puck, and he's trying to deflect that puck. He moves to deflect it, and so that was kind of. I mean, I like I'd like Saad to get credit for him actually attempting to deflect the puck and it actually going in instead of people calling it a lucky bounce, because it wasn't a lucky bounce. It wasn't a shot by Kyrou that happened to go off a leg. The guy wasn't even looking at the shooter, right? And it goes in.
Right.
That's not the case at all. It was a tip. It was a good deflection.
Right.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
Please.
If Sidney Crosby had shot that puck, it'd have been a fantastic play, fantastic look to get that puck to that stick.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
And watching the condensed game a couple of times today on the NHL app, they used the Minnesota feed for it, and the announcers were, at first thought for sure it went off Spurgeon's shin into the net, and then Wes Wells picked up that, or not Wes Wells, whoever the color guy is. I think Walls is like Rivers and Federico and does the in studio work, but whoever the color guy is said, picked it up and was like, wow, that's a good deflection. So credit was given.
That's gonna drive me crazy because is it Bob Kurtz? No, I feel like I should know this. Ryan Carter? I don't know. Doesn't matter. We'll tell you what. We have time to figure that out, guys, because we're going to take a little break before we talk about the third period. And do want to mention Winning Unlimited's response to Kurt's question. So we'll talk a little bit more about Braden Shen. And we'll talk about the rest of the NHL as well when we come back after hearing from our friends over at Center Ice Brewery.
Do you like hockey? No, of course you do. Do you like beer? Of course you do. Are you 21? Well, let's hope so. If you answered yes to all of those questions, run on down to your local beer distributor and pick up a 2-4 of Old Arena Lager, the Beauty IPA, or any other delicious hockey-themed beer from Center Ice Brewery. That's right, Center Ice Brewery beer is available at various beer stores around town, so check around for the one closest to you. That's Center Ice Brewery. Let's go Blues!
So, Kurt, on last show, we talked about my favorite Dr. Pepper variant, right? And
Yes.
I said it was the dark berry, but I was not able to find it as they re-released it. I found it tonight at Schnucks. So I got a couple 12 packs. So yeah, if we do a show together or we get together anytime soon, I'll bring you one. It's very good.
Nice.
Bill, you a Dr. Pepper drinker?
Oh yes, I had me a Dr. Pepper with my Panda Express for lunch today.
There you
beautiful.
go.
Oh, sounds good. Panda Express.
Man, you know what
Wait,
I love?
Did you go orange chicken?
Of course I did.
Okay,
That's the best
that's
one.
the thing to get, right? At
Yep.
Panda.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That was my best part about living in Dallas is because Dr. Pepper's from Waco, which is about an hour and a half south of Dallas.
Do you think of Stephen Koresh when you hear Waco? I always do.
David Koresh.
David Koresh. Sorry, David Koresh.
Yeah. No, I totally do. And every time Julie
Wacko
loves
in Waco?
watching. Yeah, Julie loves watching. What is it? Fixer Upper, and that's based there. And the whole time I'm like, wonder how many of these people were part of that cult.
The Branch Davidians, right? That's what they were called. Remember that, Jeff?
Yep.
Was it before your time?
Oh yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah.
That was like 93 or 4.
93.
Right? Like
yeah.
It's hard to remember it's hard to know if I actually remember it or if I just have heard all about it. But I think I remember it. So yeah, with Waco's where Dr. Pepper was invented, and they got a Dr. Pepper museum, by the way, which was pretty cool. Yeah, it's real nice. Real cool stuff in there. But best part about it was I remember when I went down to interview for the job, they took me out for lunch after my interview before I flew back to St. Louis. And they had asked, hey Jeff, what did you order first? What do you want? And I was like, oh, blah blah blah, and I'll take you guys have Dr. Pepper down here? 'Cause, if you go to the East Coast, a lot of places don't have Dr. Pepper. And they all just laughed and they're like, dude, you're in Dr. Pepper country. Every place down here has Dr. Pepper. And I'm like, I was like, Mr. Pibb? And they're like, no, fuck Pibb. Pibbs doesn't even exist down here. And I'm like, that's amazing. So yeah, every place I
like
went,
asking for
Dr.
Pepsi
Pepper.
in Atlanta, Jeff.
And
Asking
they would literally ask me, like, how here they'd be like, oh, we've got Coke products, Pepsi, blah, blah, blah. If you go to a restaurant, there we've got Dr. Pepper and we've got others. And it's like, yes, lead with Dr. Pepper.
Do they say I'd like a Dr. Pepper Coke?
No, they do not.
You know how people order everything's something Coke.
Right.
That's in the South, but not in Texas.
That's the other part of the South.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest.
That's like the East
dumbest
South.
thing.
The Southeast, I guess, is the best way to say it.
Yeah.
It's a stupid. I mean, Coke's a brand. Why do that? I don't get it.
Yeah, I remember when I was
confusing
in,
as hell.
I stopped in Alabama at a gas station when we were driving out of Florida.
No Pepsi Coke.
Apparently, we're on story time right now. But yeah, I stopped at a Alabama gas station on my way to Florida, and the guy, like, I handed him my Dr. Pepper that I was going to get, and he goes, "Just the Coke, right?" And I go, "No, it's a Dr. Pepper." And he goes, "No, but I mean it's a Coke." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm in Alabama." I'm like, "Yes, just the Coke." I'm like, "That's so weird." So Kurt, you want to mention the Braden Shen comments from Mr. Winning Unlimited?
Yeah. Let's see, what does he say? He says the Shen hit on Kaprizov looked bad, but the head isn't the principal point of contact, so probably not a suspendable hit, but could be a boarding or charging call after leaving the feet. He also says Shen hits Dumba when Fleury covers the puck in game 1. A little late. Dumba doesn't have the puck. Shen isn't attempting to play the puck. Penalty, yes. Suspension, no. I think, and this is kind of the general tone, or these 3 or 4 checks that were presented as suspendable, major penalties. It should have been 5-minute majors, game misconduct type plays. And I was like, I'm not seeing that whatsoever. Trying to be as objective as possible. Trying not to wear my Homer goggles like I think this gentleman was doing with his wild goggles. But yeah, to say that Shen has gotten away with 4 major penalties that weren't even called penalties at all is quite the reach. I mean, 2-minute penalties and minor penalties, yeah, you can give him a couple penalties for leaving his feet, and not playing the puck and playing the body, hitting them high a little bit. Those can be minor penalties. Okay, I'll give you that. But major penalties with game misconduct, I don't see that whatsoever.
The 3 dirtiest things that I've seen in this series: 1, Spurgeon on Buchnevich, no question in my mind. That to me should have been at least a game, at least.
And the hockey world, it's not just Blues fans. If you go on like hockey Reddit, NHL Reddit, everyone is like, how is that not a suspension? Yeah. How?
That's an attempt to injure, clear as day.
It is a blatant attempt to injure. I mean, there's no other. It couldn't be anything else.
So that's number 1. Number 2 to me, and I'm really trying to not wear my Homer glasses here, but Boldy's hit on Leddy in game 1. I thought that was pretty dirty.
That was dangerous. That was a
dangerous.
That was a
and I'll
very
even say,
dangerous play.
I would have been fine with just a 2-minute penalty there, no supplemental discipline. I just thought, of what we've seen, that was the second dirtiest thing we've seen. And to me, the third dirtiest was what Winning Unlimited mentioned. Shen's hit on Dumba when Fleury covered the puck in game 1. I thought that was a little excessive.
He took a run at him.
But at the end of the day, again, that's a 2-minute penalty.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing anything that would warrant a major or a suspension or even a fine.
Yeah, and that was my entire stance about that. I wanted to balance it out with some other people, and I know that I'm talking to Blues fans here, but trying to be objective. I don't have a horse. What do I care if Shen got away with something? I'll say if he got away with something. I should have gotten the penalty. I said earlier in this game that the I didn't think it was a cross check or trip or whatever on Barbashev when he was knocked down, the Blues scored on the power play. I didn't think that was a penalty really. So yeah, I'm trying to be honest here. I'm not trying to be a homer. What do I care? If he got away with one, I'd kind of say yeah, he got away with one. I don't think these are major penalties, guys.
I say that almost every game. And I've said it on Twitter. I've said it on this show. I've said it in front of other people. When the Blues get away with a penalty, I call it out. I'm like, oh, Blues just got away with one there.
I haven't heard anybody else complaining that Schenn should be getting majors and isn't. You may see some people say, oh, Schenn should have gotten a 2-minute there for rough or a 2-minute there for boarding. But a major or I know that's pretty rough. That's for those calls. And if you're calling a major on Schenn there, then Spurgeon is suspended 5 games.
Oh yeah,
for what he did.
Sure.
I mean, if we're gonna go that, if we're gonna give Schenn a major for one of his hits that's been laid out, then Spurgeon's gone for almost the series.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's 10 times dirtier and 10 times more blatant injury than anything Schenn's done.
Well, the wheel of justice is hard at work this offseason. Did you guys see the Jamie Benn high sticking fine?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's spearing. He speared Andrew Mangiapane in the face through the net and gets a $5,000 fine. And then the very next game gets another fine for tripping. At what point do you not just suspend the douchebag?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
No, I agree. You get it literally, somebody showed the tweets side by side. Jamie Benn gets a fine, 5,000 maximum allowable, blah, blah, blah. And then the same fucking thing, just different incident. And it's like, okay, he literally got fined twice. When do you take into account that he's a repeat offender within a game of each other?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta, I don't care if the second one was very minor and it was like, we kind of have to do something. You have to move that up to at least a game suspension if you just fined him the game before. Ridiculous.
It's like the fine on Spurgeon. On Spurgeon. It should have been more. And they're saying, well, he's not a repeat offender. That's because people are getting fines. I mean, and we talked about this too, as far as like, does the fine put them in a category where it makes them more apt to get suspended, but not necessarily a repeat offender kind of a thing?
By the rule book, it does, but they don't follow that at all.
And Jamie Benn plays the. You're a kind of a Ben fan there, Jeff. But Jamie Benn,
you have to bring that up every damn time, don't you?
Well, he's a borderline. He toes the line for dirty play, and he
that's
takes
why
shots.
I like him.
He takes shots at people. He'll behind the play, stick in the gut, stuff like that as they're going to the bench, and he'll do shit like that, like a lot of players do. But it just seems like he gets either caught doing it, or I notice he does it more, or maybe he does do it more. He just seems like that kind of player that just does that kind of shit a little more than anybody else. And so in my mind, he's kind of a dick player, and a guy who's on your team you love, not on your team, not so much.
Yep. So starting off here in the third period, Blues do take the 3-2 lead. Oh, there's a bug in my office. Ugh. All right.
Bugger.
Bugger. O'Reilly dumps the puck into the zone. Buchnevich retrieves it, slides it in front to a waiting Tarasenko, who one-timed it past Fleury. I thought this was a horrible defensive play by the Wild. They had 3 players that collapsed low, one on each side of the net, and then one guy was directly on Buchnevich. But no one picked up Tarasenko crashing the net.
You like this? I have the exact same thing noted down to mention too. The exact same thing you just said. So we saw it the same.
Yeah, it was they play basically. Their structure was great. They had it played correctly, but 1, they let the pass get through, and 2, nobody even saw Tarasenko come into the net who was coming off the bench. Just I mean, if I'm Dean Evison, I'm fucking every player on the rink. Get the hell off. You ain't playing for the next 10 minutes at least. Like, what the hell was that?
It was you and you're not playing anymore. Coach
Dude,
Ponder.
I would bench every player. I'd have to go out there and skate
Oh,
myself because everybody would be benched.
I think you'd get fired pretty quick.
But no, that was awful. I mean, that late in the game, a tie series, tie game, and
Well-
oh my God, Tarasenko had all the time in the world to get a good shot off.
We've talked about a hockey game is just one team who can take advantage of more mistakes by the other team, and this was a slight mistake by the Wild and not picking up Tarasenko, and they cost him.
Yep.
Now it's
did.
our Russians' turn, right?
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. The veteran Russian. Time for him to step up.
Yeah. Sit down, kid.
So speaking of stepping up for Tarasenko, he scores another one. Blues break into the zone. Barbashev finds Tarasenko, who had again. I mean, and again, this is a break in. Excuse me. And so every now and then you're gonna find a little bit of room, but you got to have a body on Tarasenko, who he just found room, sniped a shot from the top of the left faceoff circle. Bunch of players kind of moving in front of Fleury, goes over his glove. I did see some Wild fans, and Bill, I'm going to direct this at you first, who said that Fleury should have had this one. What are your thoughts on this goal? I thought this was a great shot from Tarasenko and a well placed because of the bodies in front, but maybe you saw it differently.
No, I saw another world class NHL talent with a great shot. I mean, yeah, it's got to be sour grapes for them to try to pin that on Fleury. It was just a beautiful shot. I mean, just under the bar in it, you're not stopping it. And I would challenge them to go out and try, even go, whenever the next time you're at the Hockey Hall of Fame or the NHL skills competition thing comes through your town, go there and try to stop the just the foam pucks at pro level in the simulators. You're not going to do it. It was a beautiful shot by Tarasenko, and
and again, add getting bodies in front too.
Right.
He's dealing with the
There was
main
traffic.
players.
Well, he didn't pick it up like he. I mean, if he sees the shot the whole way, he probably makes the save.
He picked it up. He picked it up very late, and
and you could tell when he saw it.
Right.
You could tell when he saw it. He saw it, but it was already too late. And he knew it off the post and in. So, I mean, now on some replays, I can understand why some Wild fans might think that it looked bad because they're not seeing that he can't pick up the puck. So it looks like he kind of just waves at it and just doesn't make a good effort. But I think there's a lot more to it than that. I mean, Fleury's a pretty good goalie. He's not just going to like wave at it and miss it, even though most goals on Fleury are high glove, high blocker now, but still. Toropchenko, give him some credit for starting this play in our own zone.
Yeah.
He's the one that chipped it out, got the puck on the boards, and then a pass out to Tarasenko, who then gave it to Barbashev, and then back to Tarasenko. So,
yep. Right, and all credit to Berube. Right, Berube did everything he could to get Tarasenko the additional minutes. Mixed up his line mates. I mean, there were 3 different looks with Tarasenko in this game. You had him starting with Barbashev and Buchnevich. That didn't click all that well, but he had him out double shifting a lot of times with Toropchenko and Bozak on the 4th line, which he did in game 4 as well. And then that line, I don't know if it was a case that Barbashev was, it was his time to change, but that looked like they sent those 3 out there and they went out with purpose. Toropchenko did such a great job of driving the zone and pushing the D off that gave Tarasenko the lane to take that shot.
You mentioned that line that they had put together, and clearly, again, they have 11 forwards, so you're going to see some different matches. But Bozak, Toropchenko, and Tarasenko, I thought defensively that line was really good. Berube, I'd have to see the numbers, but fairly certain Berube put them out there on a lot of defensive zone faceoffs, and with good reason. I thought they looked really good together. Tarasenko has proven in his older years that, I say older years, he's really not that old, but as he's become more of a veteran in the NHL, he's a pretty good defensive player when that's the type of game he needs to play. And I thought that line was great. I mean, not saying I want to see Tarasenko in a defensive role all the time, but if he's got the jump and he can play, in a first, second line, and then also fill in on your fourth line, I love it. I think that's a great look for him. And I'll add in this goal to one of my favorite parts, and I probably have not done this honestly, like since my early 20s. When they scored this goal, they instantly showed Wild fans on the ESPN feed, and everyone just looked so dejected and was just, they looked like they were the saddest sack of people. And like I said, I have not done this probably since my early 20s. I jumped up out of my seat and I gave the double bird, and I was just like, yeah, fuck you, Minnesota. Like, I couldn't help myself. I lost it. It was amazing.
I do that.
Yeah.
It's just like an energy release for me.
Yeah. Mine actually was directed at Fleury. I jumped up and said, "Fuck you, Fleury."
I'm glad to see I wasn't alone.
It is.
And as soon as you say it, it's like, oh, I feel so mature.
Yeah. It's totally a mature moment. So the Blues pull the goalie, and I'm sorry, the Wild pull the goalie. That would have been ridiculous if the Blues pulled Bennington.
Yeah. How much time did the Wild pull the goalie with?
There was only about 2 minutes left, right?
12 and a half minutes?
It was like 4, wasn't it? 3?
Was it? No, it was 3. It was in the 3s.
Yeah, 3 something. Yeah. Not
so,
7.
Not 7.
Not 7.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, not 7.
So the Wild pull the goalie and the Blues cram it up the middle. Buchnevich steals the puck, slides it to Tarasenko at the blue line, who sends it 120 feet into the open cage, completes the natural hat trick, and his second career hat trick for Tarasenko in the postseason. His previous was also against Minnesota in Game 2 of the 2015 Western Conference first round. So quite the capper for Tarasenko, who hadn't scored yet in this series, and then comes up huge for the Blues in the third period of Game 5.
Yeah, you were wondering when he was going to come out of it eventually.
Right. What was the stat? I think, I don't know if you already mentioned it, but I saw it in the outline that at that point only 3 Blues had scored the entire series. Shen, O'Reilly, or Kyrou, Perron, and O'Reilly.
Because Saad scored this game. Yeah.
Well, and then even after the first period, because O'Reilly was the one that scored. So it was only 3 Blues had goals. Yeah. And then finally Saad comes up huge, and then Tarasenko comes up even bigger in this third period. And the floodgates have opened, folks. The Blues are scoring goals again. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that this period, it should not go without being said that the Blues put on a defensive clinic in this period, protecting this lead. Their 2-goal lead.
How good was Brian O'Reilly?
Ryan O'Reilly, the entire team, 8 minutes straight, almost 8 minutes with no whistle, and most of the play in the neutral zone. The Wild with no sustained pressure, one and done opportunities. Bennington made a couple of really, really nice saves, but other than that, it was just like back and forth in the ice, time ticking away, and the Blues put on a defensive clinic in the third period. It was. I mean, from what we've watched with this team defensively this season, this was amazing to watch. This was great.
So Bennington makes 30 saves on 32 shots, gets the second star, and we talked about it on Monday with him tying as the Blues' winningest goaltender in playoff history. He now is the winningest Blues goaltender alone in playoff history with 18 wins. So it's all cake from here for him. Going to take a while for somebody to match that for him, but definitely a big night for Bennington. Glad to see he's bouncing back and playing some good hockey for the Blues.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a no-brainer start for him for Game 6, right? I mean, you
Yep.
can't go back to Huso. Why would you?
No.
I think the bigger question in goaltending is who starts for Minnesota.
Right.
Right.
It's Fleury. You brought him in to get you through. You're living by him. You're dying by him. I would be shocked if Talbot's in there, because of that. Fleury's not under contract after this year, right? So
No.
Right.
So, let him lose, let him walk, or let him win, and you've proven GM right. If you go to Talbot and you lose the game, like, okay, so why didn't you put him in before the elimination game? No, they've got to go to Fleury. It's got to be Fleury.
I agree with Bill. I think you got to move Fleury. He's been your guy all series. Switching it up now just doesn't make sense to me.
See, I said last game that I would, prior to game 5, I said I would have gone to Talbot. And
if you were going to make the move, it was before game 5.
That was my. I mean, it was like we talked about it. It could have been a coin flip. Either it's not really a bad decision, a bad choice, but I think I would have done that if I would have gone to Talbot, given him the shot. And again, I would go to Talbot in this game. I'm not thinking about contracts. That's obviously a thing, but I just want to win this game, and I think I would go with Talbot tonight. And maybe they should have won with Talbot last game. Not that Fleury was bad by any means, but who knows what happens if Talbot plays.
Different look. That's what I always say. Back when Binnington was struggling, and my wife would get mad at me because I'd say put it in Huso. I'm like, it's not even really because I think Binnington's like awful. It's give the team a different look. That's what you got to do sometimes.
A lot of times changing a goalie can spark a team and just inspire them to play better.
Yep.
So, I mean,
exactly.
It happens. That's the thing.
So one quote that I did like from Tarasenko in this game, he says after the game, happy to win, obviously happy to score. I'm not going to lie, but more happy to win. And that just goes along with everything he's ever said, honestly. He's always a team first guy, which I appreciate and love seeing him have some success here with the Blues in this playoff year, but definitely want to see them continue to get some victories under their belt. Justin Falk and Pavel Buchnevich each had 2 assists in this game, and we mentioned Marc-Andre Fleury, 27 saves on 31 shots. So, fellas, let's go ahead and take a quick look over here at Game 6. It'll be 8:30 Thursday night in St. Louis. So we talked Binnington or Huso. I think we agree it's going to be Binnington. Let's run through it real quick. Bill, you, I think, agree with me. It's going to be Fleury. Kurt, what's your call?
I think it's going to be Fleury, but I would do Talbot. But I think he will put Fleury in. But I think Talbot should play.
Oh, you think he should? I thought you said.
I think he should play, but I think Fleury will play.
So Enterprise Center should be rocking. So if you're going to the game tomorrow night, let's get ourselves a victory, should we? Because for me, they better fucking win tomorrow night, or else I'm going to punch crappy goalie in the nuts because he scheduled an all-day hockey tournament on Saturday. So if there's a Game 7, that's when it'll be. So hopefully the Blues close this out tomorrow night. Otherwise, I may have to tell my team, hey, guys, let's lose pretty quick so we can watch Game 7.
Well, they're going to lose in Game 6 now because you've got a thing on Saturday.
They better not.
Jason was so disappointed.
The last Game 7 we had at Enterprise was 2019.
Yep.
Right.
That's true.
So and we laid a big fat stinking egg in that game. So let's not do that this time.
No, I agree. So Blues announced today that forward Dakota Joshua and defenseman Steven Santini have been assigned to AHL Springfield. The playoffs did start tonight for Springfield. They took on the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. I do not have it pulled up what happened in that game, but I'm imagining those two were available for tonight. So I'm sure that's part of the reason they were sent down, but also because Blues are kind of getting a little healthy.
Right. I did see that a tweet from play-by-play guy Ryan Smith that said Charlie Lindgren had 50 saves in regulation in that game tonight. So it sounds like a barn burner.
Wow.
Didn't see what the outcome was, but
I'm checking now. Let's take
Chucky
a quick look.
sideburns. Chucky sideburns.
Wednesday.
I love that you
the
worked in
11th.
barn burner just real smooth in the conversation.
It's part of
Love
my
that term.
vocabulary.
I
Woo!
love that term. It's mine too. I love that term.
That's a 4-1 win for the Springfield Thunderbirds. So good work, Charlie Lindgren.
Nice.
Yep.
We love Chucky sideburns.
We do love Chucky sideburns. So again, the next game for the Blues will be Game 6 in St. Louis Thursday at 8:30. Possible Game 7 will be Saturday. They have not announced the time yet, but that will be in Minnesota. I would imagine that'll be a 7 o'clock game time, but it'll depend on what the other series are doing. But I doubt they would make that an 8:30 start with it being a Game 7.
I was going to say, is it going to be an 11:30 start just because, we're in the middle and nobody cares?
Hopefully not. That would suck. So rapid fire tidbits from around the NHL. Let's get into that. The Islanders, we mentioned this on the show last show briefly. But they did fire their head coach, Barry Trotz. There's already talk that he's going to be picked up before the ink dries of his firing papers on the island. First time missing the playoffs in 4 seasons. He went to the 2 previous Eastern Finals, lost both to Tampa Bay. Isles finished with a 37, 35, and 10 record after starting 13 games on the road since the arena was not yet finished. And they also had a lot of COVID issues early on in the year. And I think a lot of people have said if they didn't have that start, if you take October and November and you factor in more home games, you don't have the COVID issues, that's a playoff team because they play great down the stretch. And the Blues can attest to that because they played them twice down the stretch and both good games against the Islanders. So what do you guys think of this firing? Think it was warranted?
No. I think Trotz paid for Lamoriello really mismanaging the defense. Letty walked. They traded Devon Taves, and really that when you talk about the Avalanche and the juggernaut that everybody believes they are, that last piece that really put them over the top was Devon Taves, and it was just like kind of an under the radar trade, but a stupid one, I think, for the Isle to make. I mean, they were looking at cap problems, and had to make some moves, but you let Nick Letty look what he's done for us. You let him walk in free agency, and give up on Taves so that you can focus on Pellick and Pulak and on the back end, and you lost a lot of experience back there. And of course, like you said, COVID killed that team.
Yeah,
but
honestly,
I think he's paying for the sins of the GM.
The way the Blues were ravaged with COVID early in the year, it was the same for the Islanders, but they just didn't have the depth to be able to step in and play great hockey for them. They lost a lot of their top players, and they were basically fielding an AHL team for a good 5, 6, 7 games there, and I don't think they won one of them. I mean, they did not look good. So it wasn't until COVID was over, the road trip was over, then they started playing great hockey down the stretch, but too little, too late.
Calgary just tied the game in the third period against Dallas, 1-1.
Yep. First goal at home since the first period of game 1.
Whew.
Wow.
This is insane how low scoring this series is.
Yeah. It's good defensive hockey. Yeah, basically, we're seeing great hockey in general, especially goaltending in the series with the Blues, but you want to talk about good defensive hockey, you watch this series. Whew. It's been great. Ottinger's been fantastic.
Yeah, yes. And that is such a great pass by Mangiapane to Backlund.
Yeah, beautiful.
Well, through 2 sets of legs.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. So talk about
shooting. Nice play.
So this series right now is 2-2, as you mentioned. 13 minutes left here in the third period. Game tied 1-1. So we'll see if there's probably won't be finished by the time this game's over, or by the time this show's over. But right now, that's how it stands. The other Another big
Wait,
Western Conference series. The Avalanche swept the Predators in 4 games. So when I do my bracket challenge, I never pick a sweep. I feel so uncomfortable picking a sweep. So whenever I think it might be a sweep, I put it as 5 games. And this was one I was looking at that I'm like, this could be a sweep. And I hate that I didn't just mark it, but I was too uncomfortable.
I did more than one bracket. I did like 4 brackets, and in a couple of them, I had the Avalanche sweeping Nashville, just because I did more than one bracket, and so why not?
Yeah, I'm looking mine up right now.
I never pick a sweep. I can't do it, even if I'm super confident. I doubt myself too much, and I always just do one bracket because I feel like I'm just going to get it right. You called the sweep? Oh, nice work.
I called the sweep.
There you go.
Very well
you guys
done.
are smarter than me.
And I also called a sweep in the series that we're watching right now, so not too great.
I think I picked this one in 7. Calgary.
Yeah,
in 7.
I have the
I think
Kings
I had it
in
in
7.
6. I had the Flames in 6 here.
I've got Kings in 6, which that's the next series I want to mention. Darnell Nurse has been suspended 1 game, Oilers' top defenseman, for headbutting Philip Deneau of the Kings. He will miss the Oilers' must-win Game 6 against the Kings Thursday night. Kings lead that series 3-2.
Right. And that Game 6 is in LA. So. I said that wrong. In LA.
LA. There you go. Got to say it right. So the rest of the series in the Eastern Conference, we got Florida and Washington. Florida won that tonight, right? So that's a 3-2 series lead for them.
5-3 tonight.
Toronto and Tampa are at a 3-2 lead. Toronto had a pretty dramatic win last night against the Lightning. Carolina's up 3-2 on Boston, and New York Rangers and Pittsburgh Penguins. Rangers won tonight to stave off elimination, 3-2 in that series for Pittsburgh. And I'll go ahead and just blanket statement to you guys. Any of these series you want to talk about, go right ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that I pulled up my bracket, and I have Colorado sweeping Nashville in our bracket in the Let's Go Blues radio bracket. So,
well, you're not eligible to win, so too bad.
The most important bracket is that one, so that's the one I put the most effort into. So, yeah, got that one on the nose so far. So,
yeah,
I had the Blues in 5 though. Calgary in 6, Edmonton in
6.
7. Okay,
I got Blues in 6.
Yeah.
Edmonton
I'm liking
in 7.
that, but yeah, I had Calgary in 4. I didn't think Dallas had a chance, but I'll tell you what, man, Jake Ottinger, for being the 4th on the depth chart when the season started, he's their number 1 going forward.
Oh, he's great.
They'd be stupid not to go with him.
I was shocked when and I know they did it because they were unsure with Bishop, but when they signed Holtby, I was shocked. I'm like, dude, Ottinger's your goalie. Like, that's the guy to roll with. And he started the season in the AHL. That's nuts.
Yep. Just didn't make any sense to me. But of these series, the other series that are going on in the East, the one thing I wanted to mention was that the Rangers finally cracked Louis Domingue. I mean, that's insane to me, right?
Yeah.
The Igor Shesterkin, the crown prince of goaltending this year, everybody's favorite, was getting beat by a guy who's got a YouTube baking channel. That's just insane.
I have the Rangers going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, so do
boy.
I know, right?
No. I have them losing in the second to Carolina. I have Carolina and Florida in the Eastern Conference Final.
Well, shit. Now I got to look up my bracket because you guys got me wondering. I think I actually picked Pittsburgh. So let me take a look here. But these series have been so last night I liked going into the series last night, all the series that were playing yesterday, all series were tied 2-2. And you got to love that because that means there's bound to be at least 1 or 2 game 7s, right? Like that's what we all hope for.
They're the best.
Yep.
Let's go Blues. Who do you guys have winning the cup in your bracket?
I have Florida winning the cup.
Wow, I can't believe that. Cannot believe that.
Okay,
I have
so
the
I've
Blues
got
winning it.
Rangers in 7 in that series. So still possible, but I don't think that's going to happen. I also have Tampa beating Toronto, so I don't know about that.
So do I
Yep,
in
I did
7.
too. I had Tampa in 7. I had Rangers in 6. So I can't
Me
get
too.
that.
I was pretty confident about Tampa. I have Tampa in 5.
Yeah.
Oof.
But yeah, I
Well,
got Carolina winning the cup, which I'm still fairly confident I'm got a
Who
chance there.
who do you have in
mm,
who do you have Blues in Colorado?
Blues in Colorado, I have Colorado going to the conference final.
Me too.
Figure it's a safer
this
bet.
is
Yeah.
this is where I differ from you. I have the Blues beating
I would love it.
Colorado.
I have
Nice.
in my a couple of brackets. I have the Blues going just for fun. So
If I
with my heart, not my
if I
not my
was
head as
betting
much.
with my head and my heart at the same time, I think the heart would win out. But to me, I just said, nah,
Mm,
you got to go with Colorado here. But
What's
I
your
also have
goals?
I'm a little concerned because I've got Calgary going to the Stanley Cup final. So
yeah,
hopefully they pull it
I
out in the series.
I have them
I
going
have
to the
the
conference final. Or
I have the
final.
Blues.
Yeah, Calgary
I
against
have the
Florida.
Blues
That's
and
what I got.
Flames in the Western Conference Final, and the Blues winning it.
Ooh,
Love it.
should be interesting. It'll be interesting to
All
see
right.
how it all plays out, as they say.
God, so
Oh, go ahead.
little ruckus going on in the Calgary Dallas game. Dubé just made a little contact with Ottinger, who went down like a Premier League soccer defender, and there was a lot of face washing going on. So gotta love the
So
playoffs.
one of my favorite moments to come out of the playoffs without the not including the Blues and Wild series was Carolina Boston. I hate Brad Marchand. Don't get me wrong. If you ever hear this
Mhm.
show before, you know I hate him. But when he just kept yelling at D'Angelo, "You're a racist! You're a racist!"
Yeah. Yeah.
Loved that. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn,
Yeah.
that's good. That is so good.
Oh. You guys see it?
So, what? No,
What
not
a
yet.
shot by Mangiapane.
Oh, I just saw it.
What a
Woo!
shot.
So we got a
Wow.
2-1 lead now for Calgary.
Calgary.
Yeah, this kind of looks like what happened with the Rangers tonight when they all of a sudden just woke up and started pouring them in on
Yeah.
Domingue.
Yep. Bill, this will probably be mostly directed at you if you have anything to say about it. But Montreal wins the draft lottery. They did have the best odds. 6th time they win the number 1 pick in franchise history. Keep in mind that this draft format has only been around since 1972, I think. Is that right?
Right.
I know. Is that right? I don't know if
No,
that's right.
this draft format, like with the lottery, has been around since 2008 when, or no, 2012 when
Yeah, but
they
I mean them just having any type of like draft in general. I think is what that
yeah.
6th time they've won the number 1 pick is what that meant.
Yeah. So they used to get the number 1 pick frequently because Sam Pollock could just, he was a genius GM and knew when he could unload some of his third line talent that would be first line talent on other teams, and other teams looking for immediate help, and get a first round pick in return, and that team's going to finish pretty poorly anyway. He did it to the Seals and got Guy Lafleur. So it's I think it's awesome, that Montreal's got it after the terrible start to the season. It's going to be loading up the young talent on that team. Caulfield and Suzuki look great under San Luis. I keep wanting to say Connor Bedard, but he's next year. Who's the consensus number 1 pick?
Oh,
I
geez.
just
Oh, I
had it in
forgot.
my
They had him
Twitter
on.
feed.
They had him on.
Yeah, I just saw an
Yeah,
interview with him.
I saw Carey
Uh,
Price liked it. It's
Shane Wright.
Shane Wright. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
he's not a generational talent like Connor Bedard potentially could be next year. But he is going to add, like, Suzuki's going to be their number one center for a long time to come. Now that they don't have somebody like Bergeron or Bergevin running the team and making tons of bad trades. I think Shane Wright is, he's going to be another building block. This team in 3 or 4 years could look a little bit better than the Leafs after they brought in they got. I'm not saying he's anywhere near Austin Matthews level, but with the talent that they'll build, I think they'll be back in the playoff hunt in 3 or 4 years.
So Montreal will host the draft. First time since 1985 that the home team makes the first selection. Fellas, you had to know a trivia question was coming. Who was the team that had the 1985 draft and they drafted first overall? Hint, this was the first draft not held in Montreal.
Who had the draft?
Just
Was
finished.
City?
What city? Yeah, or team.
Yeah,
They are
so
still
I
existing today.
Yeah, I just finished the Down Goes Brown history of the NHL, which ends right before the Blues win the Cup, by the way. So if you're looking for that, don't read that book. It's hilarious, though. It's a great read.
New York?
God.
Not New York. It was an original 6 team, though.
It was the it had to be the Red Wings.
It was not the Red Wings. It was the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I was going to say Toronto.
Yep. And another trivia question. Who was that pick? Wendell Clark is correct.
Yep.
Very nice, Kurt. Something I did not know. Did you know that he was drafted as a defenseman?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he apparently in juniors, he played defense for the Saskatoon Blades. So very interesting. Converted to wing. You see that more in baseball. You don't see that as much in hockey. Once he joined the big leagues.
Wendell Clark, whom a lot of people feel is the best Maple Leaf ever.
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah.
And they had a discussion, Gretzky and Will Arnett and a couple others on the panel on TNT one night, and they had a favorite or best Maple Leaf ever. And I think, man, Gretzky might have said Wendell Clark. Maybe.
That's interesting. It's interesting because he kind of chased the game towards the end of his career and went some places you wouldn't expect him to go. He played few other teams other than Toronto. So, but obviously known most for his time in Toronto. Still part of that alumni community, hardcore. But
I would have said Joachim Lindstrom.
I would have gone Dave Keon, but
Dave Keon's up there for sure. So in the draft lottery, if you're interested, you can check out the full draft lottery coming up. I know, Kurt. We're wrapping it up now. Jesus. New Jersey.
That's all.
New Jersey gets the 2nd, Arizona the 3rd, Seattle the 4th, and Philadelphia gets the 5th. And again, check out the rest of the lottery if you're interested over at NHL.com or wherever you get your hockey news. Guys, the producer's giving me the wrap it up signal, so I think we're going to wrap her up. But anything else you guys want to add before we close up shop?
Shen is not a dirty, suspendable player. I think that has been proven tonight.
Agree.
Beyond a reasonable doubt.
Has he ever been suspended?
I'm going to guess yes.
Yeah, at some point he's had to have served a game. But no, he is the guy on this team that knows how to play right up
with the
to
Flyers,
the edge, but not go over.
He had a 3-game suspension with the Flyers for charging, which is what they wanted to give him a this series a couple times.
Yep,
leaving his feet.
All right, boys. So let's not forget tomorrow night, all important Game 6. Hopefully the Blues close her up. As I said, we've been doing two I can't even say this right. 2 shows per week. We're going to try to continue that throughout the playoffs. So, but we will not have one over the weekend. So hopefully by the next time we talk to you next week, the Blues will be in the second round. Hopefully won't be wrapping up the season. So
Maybe
will
we'll
see.
do a Discord after one of these, after Game 6 or something, or 7.
That could be fun. I could probably, I'd be down for that.
Yeah, I almost jumped in there just to see if anybody was in there last night because I could not fall asleep for the life of me.
Oh,
Game 7?
I didn't have to work today.
I had to get up and walk around.
Monday? Is that right? Game 7 will be on Monday?
Game 7's on Saturday.
Yeah, it would be Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Remember, Jeff can't watch it because he's got to play hockey.
Yeah. I was thinking, for some reason, I was thinking 6 was on Saturday for a second. Yeah, you're right.
Crappy Goalie is not live with us tonight. I know he will be podcasting Thursday morning, so I'm just going to say this now for him. I still hate you, Crappy Goalie. How dare you schedule a hockey tournament in May? What is wrong with you?
If you wanna join us, if we're on Discord, jump on Discord after Game 6. letsgoblues.com/Discord and chat some hockey with us.
Yeah, and that's a much different experience. It's not just the 3 of us talking and you listening or commenting. You actually can join us and talk with us. So if you have some things to say, we'd love to hear from you.
Yep. Chat it
up. Anybody except Austin Lynch. You're not welcomed. I see in my real quick in the YouTube chat, Frosty says, "Go Blues." I'm wondering if that is my good friend Cortland Frost, who I've played hockey with since high school. If that's you, buddy, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. So, support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by ID Life, the world's only truly personalized vitamin platform based on a health assessment of your DNA. Visit rockinthatidlife.com for more information. That's rockinthatidlife.com and get 10% off by emailing Dustin at rockinthatidlife.com, rockinthatidlife@gmail.com, and tell them Let's Go Blues Radio sent you. Also by Center Ice Brewery, which provides drinks brewed in our fair city and is available throughout the city and county at numerous grocery stores, liquor stores, and bars. There you go, Bill. You got it. Including at Enterprise Center. Visit centericebrewery.com to find a vendor near you. That is centericebrewery.com. That will do it for episode 37 of season 10 of the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thanks for listening, and thanks to those who participated in the YouTube and Facebook live chats during the show. Cheers to all of you, and cheers to our podcasting audience as well, as I hold up my Duff beer glass. For Kirk Price and Bill Day, I'm Jeff Ponder, and this was Let's Go Blues Radio. Until next time, everyone, fuck you, Jordan Greenway, and let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
How about a couple of big hits by Braden Shen and then a Game 6 victory?
Woohoo! Don't play Saturday.
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Cyanosport at the War Memorial at 8. Good seats are still available. I think that went very well.
Thank you for listening to Let's Go Blues Radio. Now take off, hosers.
I want you to have a heart attack and die so that we never have to do this shit again.
Well, there's 90 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Sorry.
St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Blues. Have you heard the news about our St. Louis Blues? They've only just begun, they're on their way to number 1. Now there's no more blues for our St. Louis Blues. The Blues are on the ice tonight again. They're rough and tough and got the stuff to win. They'll always get one more, no matter what the score. They are quite a hockey team, my friend.